Hey Patriots Large, it's Terry Anderson. I'm out here in Laredo, Texas with James Boyd. I just met James Boyd out here today. Came down here to do the Trump train with RGC, Sandra Witten, all of our family down here in Laredo. We're so glad to be here. We pulled up to this site where they're going to have a barbecue, and this gentleman comes up walking up to me and says, "Hey, what are you guys doing?" He's so excited. He says, "I'm so excited to see you here." And he tells me a little bit about his story, and I was like, man, we have got to share this story with Patriots at large. You know, we talk about wanting to show a face of what Patriots look like in America, and Mr. Boyd is that. Tell me a little bit about yourself, sir.
Well, I'm 59 years old. I'm recently retired from the Laredo Police Department approximately 2 years ago. Retired due to injuries sustained in the line of duty. Was injured by a drug cartel operative during a pursuit here in Laredo. But aside from that, I'm an outdoorsman. Also, I'm a big Trump supporter. Consider myself a patriot, and I was really proud to see this Trump train going through my city here in Laredo, Texas. And I know there's a lot of Trump supporters and a lot of patriots in Laredo, Texas. I'm very proud of that also.
Right. Well, James, that's great, and that's kind of what we wanted to get you. I do want to kind of go back and talk about your service, 27-year Laredo Police Department veteran.
Yes, sir. Actually, it's 21 years in Laredo, and I had 6 years of service in Del Rio, Texas as a police officer.
In Del Rio.
So total time of 27 years.
You know, so when I came down here and Sandra took me up and down the border, we went through Del Rio because that's on the way down to Zapata, is it?
No, Del Rio is actually northwest.
Oh, that's
here,
right.
And there's a big problem
There
with
is, that's right.
illegal immigration and drug smuggling and so forth.
Is that by Eagle Pass up there?
It's about 50 to 60 miles northwest of Eagle Pass.
Right. So you've lived down all your life. You've seen this going on down here. Then you chose to get into law enforcement down here, knowing that some of that would have to interact with the cartel and do, some of that stuff. And so when you got hurt with the cartel, can you tell me a little bit about that?
Well, we had a long sustained vehicle pursuit here in Laredo back on September 10th, 2016. And to try to summarize it, I wasn't involved in the pursuit directly, but I was one of the officers that was designated with a set of stop sticks. So I monitored the progression of the pursuit through town and noticed that it was continuing to go south on a particular street. So I set up at a certain location, or started to set up, and I couldn't get a safe location in order to deploy the stop stick. So what happened was I tried to get my unit out of the way, and the suspects that were operating the vehicle were two criminal suspects. One later identified to be a mid-level operative of the Zeta drug cartel. Deliberately drove their vehicle into the side of my unit.
Oh my gosh.
And there was a pretty significant crash.
Oh my gosh.
And make a long story short, they escaped that night, and the following day, that's when I was notified as to the identity of the driver. He escaped. They drove into Mexico. They blew the port at our bridge number 2.
Wow.
And approximately 11 months later, the driver voluntarily turned himself in. He had federal warrants for a previous deported felon.
Wow.
And
so he was an American national, or was he?
No, he was a Mexican national.
Okay.
He was described as a mid-level operative of the Zeta.
Right, I didn't know, because I'm assuming that there's some members of the cartel that are actually American nationals too. Yeah, so I didn't know.
Yeah,
so he was an illegal. He was over here illegally. And then he crashed into your vehicle, caused you to have the neck injury, broke your neck, I think he said, or?
Well, I had significant injuries to my neck and my lower spine. That ended my law enforcement career.
Yeah.
The department held on to me for a couple of years after that. I had one major surgery already, and I have another scheduled for later this year that I'm actually dreading, because the first one was just it was excruciating. And anyway, that ended my law enforcement career. So, I'm pretty opinionated when it comes to illegal immigration, when it comes to especially the cartels.
Yeah.
And I'd really like to see our border much more secure, the way it was under Trump.
Right.
That's the way I'd like to see it get back to again.
All right. And just to touch on that real quick, and I'll let you go here. But, when I came down here in March, the border was wide open, and it was wide open. And now, Biden's saying he's closing the border and don't come. And have you seen any difference in the last 30 days down here? This is June 12th today, so June 12th. I mean, last 30 days, have you noticed any difference with the crossing, or heard anything different down here than what's been going on? Because I know it's been bad.
If it were you and I talking on the side, you'd probably hear me use some bad language. But since we're on video, I'm going to say that what Biden and Harris are saying about the border being closed is just pure propaganda.
Right.
It's a total lie. It's being deceitful to the American people.
And you live here, and you've lived here for all your life.
I've lived on the border all of my life.
Right.
I can tell you the border is more wide open right now, more dangerous, more porous than it's ever been in my lifetime. And
Drugs,
I've been around 59 years.
Drugs, child trafficking,
Name it.
all of it.
And maybe worse. We don't
Right.
even know. We
Right.
have no idea what's coming across that
Yeah,
border.
it's so sad. Well, James, listen, man, I can't tell you how much I want to just thank you for your service. First of all, I really do. It's so important that somebody who's dedicated their life to law enforcement knows that the American public is behind you. We were in D.C. I met with the D.C. Metropolitan Police there, and we shook their hands. I gave them, matter of fact, I'm going to give you this right here. This right here is something that I've gotten from, we got some of these in D.C. I want you to have this, okay? Man, please have this and
Man,
wear it with pride, please.
I'll do that.
Okay.
Man, I tell you, I so much appreciate it. And, you know, that's the thing about patriots. You know, they're good people. They're nice people, caring people, compassionate people. And that's what I love about patriots. And I you know, to be included in that
Yeah.
is
You are.
just kind of overwhelming.
You are. I mean,
really appreciate it.
you fight for us. We were fighting back for you. We're fighting back for our military. We're fighting for our children. We're fighting for anybody that wants to preserve our way of life. You know, what we grew up with. We know that this is a this is a democratic republic, and we know that we want to keep it that. We don't want socialism here. We don't want these open borders.
No.
And there's so much to fight for, and you can't do it alone as police officers. We know that. You know, we're not going to go to war. We're not going to fight, but we are definitely going to stand in the gap when you can't be there. We're going to be there to support you and all the other brothers in blue. You know, it's just so awesome.
That's what's really needed, and
Yeah.
you know what? That's the great thing about patriots. You know, we stand together. We fight for what's right,
Yeah.
not with violence.
Yeah.
And I'm proud to be a part of the group. I really am,
Yeah.
and I truly respect what y'all are doing.
Yeah.
And if I can help in any way, I'm here. And all you fellow patriots out there, love all you guys. And
Newest patriot at large. I think we just got a convert here. Not a convert, but we got a new patriot at large, Mr. James Boyd, and we are so appreciative of you, sir. Thank you so much. Okay, you guys be bold and be strong. This is what we do this for, guys. Thank you. Love you guys.